you that are watching me live, I'm going to end the live because Simon's going to go live for the Q&A.
I'm now live.
So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everyone who joined the program. The price goes up in now about 47 and a half hours. So don't say I didn't warn you. I predicted there'd be a riot after we started the webinar. There was a riot. I predict that there will be a lot of people that want to do the course when the price goes up, but the price has gone up, and they'll ask me to put the price down. I won't be able to put the price down because then I'll lose my credibility, and then they'll be pissed off, and then they're going to communicate. I can't. So get in now. And there's loads of you logging in live just now. So you need to go back and watch this video. Yeah, I'll give you some update on some numbers, but it's been going wild. All right, cool. So get yourself ready, Simon.
Yeah, I'm on. I'm live. We have 13 people.
Okay, you'll have a load more in a minute. Don't you worry. So I'm going to just do this slide, Simon, then I'm going to start asking you questions that you can then share live and on the group.
Cool.
So I think it's really important to learn. Keep learning. It's the Wild West. Even some of the stuff we teach and help you with that's going to look good is going to have disruptions and challenges. We're all learning on the job with this. So just keep learning. I'm reading blogs and articles. I've got mentors. I think that's so important. Think just beyond the quick buck you can make now in Bitcoin and whatever other coins you're in to 2.0, the future. Imagine in a few years when this tech comes a bit more widespread and you've been in it for years, not just monetary, but probably more valuable to you than the money that you might make on an asset, because it's not really designed to be an asset. It's designed to be a currency, but it's acting as a crypto asset, although I'd argue a speculation. But in a year, 2 years, 5 years, when we're using this tech in business and property, that's when you're going to have a massive advantage. So I'm way more long-term on this. It might seem now like everyone's in it because this community is going mad, and you know there are so many thousands in it, and so many thousands got locked out of the webinar, and so many people are talking about it on Facebook. But on Facebook, 9 out of every 10 people, I bet, who you ask who put a Bitcoin post up, actually haven't got any money in Bitcoin, and of the 10 that have, 9 of them have got 50 quid or less in. So you know, like, I do think we're still in the early mover stage. I can't predict, but you know, I think that we're using confirmation bias to think that everybody is in. So I think you're early, but I don't think you're too early. And by the way, if you're slightly wrong timed, then so am I, because you know that's this is, you know, you've roughly seen when I'm in. Be wise, be vigilant, get mentors, get well educated, stay calm, be balanced. And like I said, we researched Bitcoin, cryptos, and blockchain for a long, long time. I wrote probably the best-selling book in the world at the moment on money. I've been researching money for 11 years. You know, I've got my mentors who are helping me with all the crypto stuff. So this isn't just a course we've whooped together, you know, bish, bash, bosh, because there's an opportunity to run a course. Because I could have charged a lot more money for it. All right, cool. So Sian, let's go. Let's do the
right then. Yeah, I'm on. Yep, I'm on. Okay, so we got a few questions there. I'm just going to scroll to the top and go through them. But before we do that, you mentioned one thing about fear of being too late to the party. It's a really good question and also concern, because what I want everyone to know is that you definitely are not too late to the party. So the internet, let's say it's been around, 20 years? Would you say it's too late to, you know, setting up, you know, making an opportunity via the internet? Not at all. Like, it's 2017, almost 18, and there's still oodles amounts of like opportunity. Except, so don't worry. Like, this is like being in the internet, like 1994. So you guys are the early adopters. We haven't even hit the early majority yet of the law of diffusion of innovation. So don't worry. So let's scroll to the top.
You want me to read them, or have you got them?
Sorry?
You want me to read them, or have you got them?
I've got them here. Yeah. So a lot of people are saying that they've bought the course, but they haven't got a confirmation email. I don't have anything to do with the soft. Yeah. I
will deal with all of that in the community. So if you're having problems paying online, if you've paid and there's some issue with VAT or double take on your card, or you're not sure if it's gone through, if you haven't got your login link, etc., I'll start a thread. I'll put it all in there. Everybody be cool like Fonzie, you know, sort of a bit mad. We'll sort it. We'll look after it for you. My guys are working on this platform today. Tom was putting more content in today. So I know that, there's going to be stuff. We'll work on it with you. So any questions about that, Sian, don't worry.
I'll just do the crypto stuff. Yeah. So, okay, one of them will be, so Graham Nicholas, he said, a new crypto is being backed by gold tomorrow. Will this be the start of a game changer? What benefits and cons does this have? Unfortunately, no, it's not going to be a game changer at all. There are already, off the top of my head, about 3 cryptos out there which are backed by gold. And to be honest, it's pure bollocks. In order to have a properly gold-backed currency system, you need to back it. So for every $1 of gold there needs to be 1 crypto, etc. And we've seen this over the last 80 years in the gold market, where people or companies or governments have tried to back a currency by gold. And they may start off with the right intentions, but eventually what happens is that they get greedy. Because the moment you lock something, 1-to-1 with gold, you can't print any more, any extra currency. Because in order to print more currency, you need more gold into reserves. So what happens is they bastardize that link and then go, okay, from now on, for every $1 of gold we have, we'll issue $10 worth of crypto or dollar or whatever. And that's when the system breaks. And also, in order to have a proper crypto, gold-backed crypto, the company, the organization, or the government that's doing that will have to buy up at least $500 million worth of gold to make it effective. So it's not going to happen. And the only way that can happen is if a major country like Russia, China, India, not even the UK, a US does it. And they won't do that because governments and banks like the ability to print off their debts. Venezuela are in the shit bucket they're in right now because the government has simply, I know we've got loads of debts, so they just print more currency to pay off those debts, and basically all they're doing is kicking the can down the road, and that road is now up here because they've got ridiculous inflation. So hopefully,
Can I just jump in?
Go for it.
I'm really sorry. I realise we've sent a couple of emails about this, and so everyone who's on the online training, the webinar that you're doing Q&A on, they might not be in the Facebook group, and I'm closing it, so I need to get them in. So just sort of smile on the live feed for a second. Everyone bear with me. So if you're on the webinar and you're not yet in the online community, then it would be totally unfair if I shut the group and you weren't in it.
Yeah, we're all good. We've got...
Honestly, this is the most crazy evening I've ever had. All my texts going slow because of everything that's pinging in. There's messages, there's live feeds. Hundreds of orders have come in, by the way, hundreds. Way more than the 200 that we set for the 2 days. So we have another massive problem because we only have those 2 dates with 100 people. I did say that though, so I was fair. So I've just sent the group to everyone who's watching on the webinar. So I'll keep it open probably till much later, about another hour, because otherwise it's unfair on you. But you've got to join the group because we're closing it to the public later. So sorry, Sam. Carry on with your questions, mate.
Yep, cool. So hopefully that answers the gold back stuff. Let's look for more crypto questions. So that was Graham. Lee Collymore, he said, oh my God, the questions keep moving away. So what's the position between tax and cryptos? Really good question. So at the moment, according to the FCA and HMRC, cryptos in the UK at the moment are counted like a commodity. So you are subject to capital gains tax. This is likely to change because there's a big move between, with the FCA, which is our financial regulatory body, and the SEC, which is the US version. They're trying to treat cryptos as a security, because what they say is if something moves, walks, smells, and talks like a security, it's a security. And a lot of cryptos are a security. And when I say security, basically a financial product. And this isn't anything to be surprised about, because whenever something takes off and the government and banks are left behind, it's not long before they try and claw it back. So remember, you can make roughly £11,000 worth of tax-free profits per year. Hopefully, over the next couple of years, you'll be in the champagne problem that you have way too many profits. So at the moment, what I would definitely recommend is chatting to an accountant or a tax specialist. I'm actually scouring the globe the UK for crypto tax specialists. None have met my criteria so far, but I will let you know the moment, because I think, Rob, what will be a really good idea is if 3 of us, you, me, and whoever the tax dude is, gets on a webinar at some point, just to go through all the tax questions, because that's not
we'll do that for the community. We might have to do webinar and live.
Yeah.
Keep everyone happy.
So, okay, yeah, capital gains tax, and obviously it depends on your tax bracket. Okay, so Taran, hope that Bithal, sorry if I've screwed your name up. Given the huge price increases recently, are you expecting a correction anytime soon? Now, this is a really good question, because the trader in me, the thing, I've been trading for freaking years. Every bone in my body is screaming there's going to be a huge retrace. If you look at the charts, everything is overextended, and the thing is, the markets never move in a straight line. They never go up in a straight line or down in a straight line. They oscillate, as you know. They do this all the way up or this all the way down. And the way I sort of picture and visualize the markets is that imagine the markets are connected to like an invisible rod, and it's connected via like an elastic band. So what happens, let's say the market's going up, it'll go up, it'll overextend, and then the rubber band will pull it back to this sort of invisible rod, and it'll do that. And every time the market gets too far away from that elastic band, the odds or the probabilities of a pullback or a correction increase dramatically. Now, the trader side is saying, yeah, we're due for at least a 30% retrace any time now. However, the caveat to that is this is the most ridiculous market I've ever seen in my life. No, this is the most ridiculous market humans have ever seen in financial history. So this is uncharted territories, which is why you have to only use risk capital and don't trade it for the moment. I'm still vetting trading crypto exchanges, but none are good enough. And the market's too thin. You will get chewed up and spat out by the whales. Also, there's the first Bitcoin futures market is coming online tomorrow, which is really, really interesting. And then there's going to be a whole flurry of others. Wall Street are doing everything they can to get on board with this and try and manipulate the market somewhat. Now, with the futures and options market, it's a derivative, basically. It's a financial weapon of mass destruction, as Warren Buffett said. And what that allows them to do is go long, i.e. buy it, without even owning Bitcoin, and also short it, which is more important. So you can actually sell Bitcoin without even owning it. So there's two camps at the moment. A lot of people are out there going, well, the moment traders can short the Bitcoin market on the futures market, it's going to cause one hell of a crash. And then there's the other camp which says no, the futures market is just going to help legitimize this whole market, and it will actually reduce the volatility. And the thing is, I agree on both sides. I've given up on trying to predict when things are going up and down. In trading, it's called top picking and bottom picking. It's never good to be a bottom picker in life or on the markets, or a top picker. And so don't. So as I said before, yes, we're going to have a 50 to a 90% crash. When, I don't know, and where it will start from, I don't know. It could start from here and go down to $4,000 a Bitcoin, or $1,000 a Bitcoin, or it could start its fall from 50,000. Just don't do it. This is why trend trading is the only proven form of trading over the last 300 years, because there's of all of the facts and truths in the world, one fact is we can't tell the future. We cannot read the future. Fact. No one can. And also markets go up and down, and obviously, or up, down, and sideways. And the other one is that markets only trend 15% of the time. They're choppy sideways doing bugger all 85% of the time. But when a market starts to trend, it trends for longer than most people anticipate. And so this is why trend trading works. So that way, when you know things are starting to trend down, you get out or you short it. And when it starts to go back up again, you go long or you buy it. There's no thinking involved. So hopefully that makes some sort of sense. I'm leaning more towards a correction at some point. But also the other reason I very rarely sit on the fence. But I think I just personally need more data, because the main bullish thing, the thing which is really driving the markets up at the moment, is that Wall Street, when I say Wall Street, I mean basically the financial institutions, banks and whatnot, and hedge funds, they're trying to also create a Bitcoin ETF. So an ETF is basically, it's a financial instrument that acts like a stock, but it basically follows the movement of an exotic asset or an instrument. So like commodities, so copper, palladium, or plutonium. There are plutonium ETFs out there. Obviously, you can't go out and buy some, uranium or plutonium. So you buy the ETF, which tracks the movement, and so there's a rush to try and be the number one Bitcoin ETF. Now, the interesting thing here is that in order to set up an ETF, like a proper ETF, they have to buy the underlying asset. So they have to go in and actually buy $100 million worth of Bitcoin so they can then sell ETFs, because the ETF will be backed by Bitcoin. So that's one of the reasons why the market is absolutely exploding. So there's so many. I'm sat on the fence for that one. So more questions. So Craig Clark has said, oh my Lord, some of the questions I can't even scroll up. Craig Clark, how do you shield? I can barely read it. It says, how do you protect your crypto wallets from an EMP blast or something like that? An electromagnetic pulse, a nuclear bomb exploding and then frying your electrics. So again, it's a good question. I don't use hardware wallets. Fact. There's a huge market in buying like Ledger Nanos and Trezors, etc. But the thing is, personally, I don't trust them. One, there are alleged reports of these USB sticks, the Trezor being hacked or phished, and also like it's a USB stick at the end of the day. It's a bit of hardware. The average USB stick lasts anywhere from 5 to 10 years. Also, at 55 degrees Celsius, they start to degrade. So if God forbid, if you have a fire, you don't want to lose your whole wealth as well as your house. Also, they need to be waterproof, and if they're not, you're screwed. So I actually store my cryptos offline. It cannot be hacked. It is off the internet. So that's how I do that. A couple of questions. I can't see. Sanj Thakra, which wallet and which platform, etc. that I use. There's no one wallet that will let you, there's no universal wallet out there at the moment. Unfortunately, whoever does that is going to make a lot of money. I've got well over 200 cryptos and probably 150 different wallets, because each crypto will need their own wallet. Now, yes, there are lots of cryptos that are made on the Ethereum network, about 350 of them. So for those cryptos, you can actually use the My Ether wallet, which is like a generic wallet. But yeah, I'm so sorry. There's a lot of these questions. I can't actually scroll through all of them.
Do you want me to pick out some? Are you all right?
Yeah, if you can. I'm just looking through. Okay, here we go. David Trotter. Why do coins, when released from ICOs, generally tend to dump for a while after they're released? And what do you recommend if you miss the ICO? Really, really good question. So an ICO, for those of you who don't know, is an initial coin offering. And it's basically the crypto version of an IPO. So companies can list their own private company onto the public stock market, like the FTSE or the S&P 500, and they have to sell 25% of their shares. Now, an ICO is when basically you're launching your own crypto. And Last month alone, there are 600 ICOs alone. It's absolutely nuts. This is another tech bubble, just like the first one. And so you're not going to get all ICOs. You won't have enough money to. But actually, David, it's the other way around. Most ICOs, they boom for a little bit and then they dump, sometimes below. Obviously, there are a few which just don't balloon at all. And that's because we have all of these Chinese whales. And when I say a Chinese whale, these are basically Chinese Bitcoin holders or Ethereum or Ether holders, which have tens of millions of dollars. Okay, so they can individually move markets. So what they've done is they've found this ICO market where they can basically invest in a coin or a crypto before it's on the open market, get in at a really cheap price. It launches on the main market at a higher price, and because they'll probably then top up again, they then move the price up, and then guess what? Once they've made 100% or whatever, or wherever their predetermined take profit level was, they then pull out. And no doubt they're all in one WhatsApp group or a Facebook group like this. And so they go, hey, here's this coin, let's all go in. They all go in, it booms, they all go out. Guess what happens? When money's extracted from an asset, prices tumble. So that's what they do. Hell, like this community alone, we have 3,000 people. The buying power we have is nuts. And let's say over the next few years, we do rather well.
Just quickly,
yep.
Sorry, mate, before you do your let's say bit, let's hold you in suspense there. Because I've just had an update from my head of marketing. I just need to mention this. So we've had well over 300 orders. So we have a massive problem at the moment. I did say only the first 200 get the first 2 dates, the January and the February dates for the physical course. Everything else is fine. You get all the online stuff. So do I have your permission to do a third date?
Oh, of course. Yeah, like definitely. What I want you guys to have is like all the information you need, because
Okay, cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So basically, I'm prepared to open a third date.
Yep, same.
So that many of you who are beyond the 200 and anyone who's left sitting on the fence tonight now gets your chance to book in, get the online course and get the physical course. So just let me re-summarize it. So you get a physical 1-day intensive course at $299 plus that with Sian, where you can bring your laptops. You can actually go through setting up your accounts, although we'll give you homework on that. We don't want to be doing the fiddly registering stuff. Sian will open his private portfolio. He'll show you it publicly, his coins that he's in, how to get money in, how to get money out. It's not for experts who've been doing this 10 years, just to be clear. It's for the people who want to get in and want to navigate safely. We don't have a retail price yet, but I'm putting this up in 46.5 hours. I'm going to put it up significantly because this has just gone wild and has proven that it can.
Yeah.
So you want to get in now before a massive price hike. You've seen how everyone's been reacting to the webinar situation, trying to get on. Go in the community after this webinar. Honestly, there's threads and posts everywhere. There's people acting a bit silly, really, considering all the stuff we've done for free, but they're just disappointed that they couldn't get on, so I understand that. That's how people will be in 46 hours when they don't get the best price. Now, I promise you I will put it up, and I promise you I won't be able to reduce the price for you because it won't be fair. You were going to get 3 months ongoing support with Sian, but you actually get a year if you do it tonight. So that's he's going to do an online training every 2 weeks. He's going to evaluate every single coin. He's going to do some information and training on every single one, existing and new. You get the Facebook Community Access for Life, which is now going to be officially closed and private. So it's only members of this online masterclass can get in the future, which is why we're warning everyone. I believe, from doing my research, it's the UK's only full crypto course that's both online and physical, where you get to meet someone who's doing it for real. I don't like to say expert, he doesn't like being called one, but he's definitely one of my mentors, Sian. So, I've researched a lot of people in crypto. I've done a lot of work myself in the money space. Obviously, I have the book that's selling the most copies in the world about money at the moment. So there's a lot of power and resource and leverage in our community involved here that can really help you. So make sure you get that right now. I'm going to leave it up for a couple of minutes. So why don't you carry on doing the Q&A?
Yeah.
We'll turn off the webinar, but carry on doing it. in the group. It's now what, 10:15. Even my marketing guy said he's got to go to bed and get some sleep. And there's still 581 people on now. Wow. You all right to carry on the live?
Of course, yeah. Whilst you were chatting, I was writing some questions down before it went above the fold, and I couldn't see them because I want everyone to, you know.
Carry on in the live because everyone here should be able to get in the group anyway. I'll go and let everyone in and do some comments, you know, while you're doing that, and just stay on for as long as you got. And let's catch up tomorrow. Yeah,
I'm seeing a few comments about you've ordered, and yeah, as I just said to Rob, I will definitely commit to a third physical day. I want to make sure everyone doesn't miss anything, because at the end of the day, I guess I'm just an information relayer that's going to accelerate you through your learning curve a lot faster than it took me, and to the point where you don't need to ask anyone, what is this or what should I do? I mean, that would be the best success for me. So some of the questions I wrote down, because I can't see them now. Prabhakaran, hopefully that's how you pronounce it. You're asking about how basic the course is. So this, I've made it, Ellie, my wife, hates it when I say this, but it's true. I created this course so even Ellie could understand it. So Ellie is the complete opposite to me. She's the most unfinancial money type person out there. Didn't know, yeah. So I've made it as simple as possible because I myself have like a 5-year-old brain, and I have to basically learn it and dissect it to the point that I can understand it because I'm an idiot from Norwich, basically. So yeah, it starts really basic, and it will take you from zero knowledge to being a really competent investor. We've got, like in my private community already, we've got about 500 to 600 people. They started with zero knowledge, and they're now really good. And also the earlier sort of veteran members in my community, they're doing really well, and they're really knowledgeable because this industry has a weird, like cryptos have a weird sort of thing that the moment you're interested in it, it's going to be the only thing you Google. And so as a result of that, after, 10, 20 hours of solid learning, you're going to know a lot. Now, the video course has about, or at least 10 hours worth of footage. It's me in my kitchen, going through everything, and I'm going to constantly give you more info. So that's that. So it is very basic. Vaidehi, hopefully that's how you say it. Is this course about trading? No, it won't. So this, as I said, I want to keep it basic. And it's basically how to buy, hold, and store and sell your cryptos safely without getting hacked or conned. So it's literally so there's a few different strategies in the course, as long as the buy, hold, and forget. There's ways that you can move in and out, not trading. The trading, I will be running a trading program soon, sometime in the new year, but I'm vetting a lot of crypto trading exchanges, and none of them meet my criteria. A lot of people say, oh, what about Plus 500 or eToro? No, they are laughing jokes in the trading world, eToro especially. Dan Cole said, my thoughts on Ethereum. So Ethereum is number 2 of the crypto space, Bitcoin being the number 1. So Ethereum is interesting. So let's take WordPress. So a lot of people should be familiar with WordPress, as in, you can build websites using WordPress. Hell, all my businesses have WordPress websites. No doubt some of you guys as well. Well, Ethereum is WordPress for the crypto space. So basically with Ethereum, it's a platform where you can build other cryptos on top of it. So basically it gives you like a cookie cutter, and you can basically launch your own Ethereum sort of token. It's called an ERC20 token. So that's one of the reasons why Ethereum has exploded. And I started getting into Ethereum at $8 per Ether. And it's now what, $450? It's now $445. And oops, I've lost the stream. Oh, here, yeah, still here. And so the only reason why Ethereum has shot up is because of ICOs. 90% of all ICOs require that you invest in the ICOs using Ether. So that's why it's done that. So I like it. In terms of security, it's not as good as Bitcoin. If you look at Bitcoin is like a smooth solid titanium ball. Okay, there's no like crevices or gaps in it, and like it's really impermeable. Whereas Ethereum is like a freaking sponge, and a sponge has a lot of surface area, and because Ethereum is like a sponge, has all sorts of different ways it can be penetrated and then attacked, etc. So actually, one of my biggest concerns about Ethereum is that when Ethereum gets hacked, or if it gets hacked, you're going to have about 350 other cryptos that will go down with it. Again, counterparty risk, choke points. I'm not keen on that. I own bugger all Ethereum or Ether. Simon McCabe has asked the questions about ISAs. I don't. Eventually, it will be. I'm not too sure. However, what is pretty cool is that you can now put your pension in a Bitcoin pension tracker type thing, which is very interesting. So I'm actually in the process of moving my military pension into a SIP. Well, no, it's already in a SIP, but I'm going to move it into another SIP, which can basically go all in on Bitcoin. However, I've been chatting to a lot of IFAs, and it's just painful. Like, I'm having to pay 1,500 quid to an IFA just because apparently I can't do it, and I have to get a letter from an IFA saying, I understand that what I'm doing is silly and that I could lose all my money and it's unregulated, or all that sort of stuff. So that's annoying. Anyway, let's look for more questions. Okay. Noel, thank you for all the really kind comments. I really do appreciate that. I do that, like, yeah, that's what gets me going, gets me out of bed, all of this. Okay, Richard Weiss says, a friend of mine has received an email saying that someone has transferred Bitcoin into his account by mistake, and this is worth millions. Total scam. It's like those Nigerian, give us your monies. Don't, honestly. No one has accidentally put Bitcoin into your account. Kadag Lucky, awesome surname. Would you be recommending ICOs as part of the course? Hell yes. There's so many. I've got bad posture. There's so many ICOs out there. I'm always looking for ICOs. I've got a good criteria, like checklist for ICOs. Not many of them pass my criteria. However, one of them, I'll give you one right now. One which I told my community yesterday is one called Rentberry. It's worth Googling, Rentberry. Basically, they want to put the rental market up on the blockchain. It's going to be huge. And in fact, it's quite funny. A lot of ICO founders, they're already inviting me for dinner. As I said, this community, like, give it, like there's 3,000 of you. Let's say in 2 years' time, we all do remarkably well. The buying power that we all have is nuts. So Rob and I will be able to go to, one of these, the next great cracking ICO, like, the next Facebook of crypto space or whatever, and sit down with the founders and go, hey, we have 3,000 odd people that have all made X amount of profit or whatever, and we're looking for good ICOs. We like yours, but we don't like the entry price. What can you do for us? So we will be able to really get in behind the scenes. I mean, I'm already doing a lot of pre-IPO investments. So I actually get into IPOs before it goes onto the stock market. And I mean, this is a very highly regulated space, but I'm getting 100% uplift on day one of listing. So with the ICO market, yeah, we have huge potential. What else do we have? We had another tax question. Yes, CGT is applicable. What platform do you use for trading? Well, trading, as in my currency trading, I use FXCM. I've been toying around with crypto trading exchanges, but the thing is, I don't trust them. All exchanges are dodgy and at high risk. And what I don't want to do is put 100, 200 grand into a trading exchange to then get hacked. So what I'm playing around with is I'm going to be launching a challenge like, or a way that you can grow, 0.1 of a Bitcoin up to 1 Bitcoin, because I only want to put a little bit of capital in there to then roll that up. And when you get to a Bitcoin, go back down to 0.1. So I'm just looking for a good exchange. Okay, Kieran, Sidhu, Ethos, BQX, making a universal wallet and exchange. Great, it's just a matter of time. I mean, the thing is, this is a bubbly market, and which is great. By the way, bubbles, 99.99% of the time, whenever you see a bubble, the market goes up, it then crashes. But 99% of the time, the market rests at a higher level than when it started it, okay? So bubbles are actually a good thing, because what happens is during the bubble, and all of the hype, it attracts attention via capital. So capital plows in, and also talent comes in. So when it does crash, you then have a higher base of money and also people and talent within it. So now there are droves of software engineers, computer scientists, and data experts plowing into the crypto space. So this is only good. And because this whole market has been created by computer nerds, like I say that lovingly, by the way, I've got loads of geek friends, it's really fiddly and hard. So it's just a matter of time before someone with a business nose comes in and goes, right, this whole interface is shit. We need to make it simple. It needs to be as simple as logging onto your very secure exchange and then going, oh, buy Neo, buy Cardano, done. Oops, is my pen gone? And yeah, buy it, and then not having to dick about with wallets and extracting it and storing things on freaking paper. And honestly, for shits and giggles, go to YouTube and type in something like sending an email in 1980, and look at the faff you had to go through. That's like what it is now. So, other questions. Adam Redshaw, what was the website shared that listed port? Oh yeah, as promised, I'm going to open my crypto portfolio to everyone. I'm just going to get you the public link. Stand by. Here we go. As I said, don't copy me, word for word, because this is my public portfolio. I've also got a private portfolio as well, so I don't always copy me word for word. Okay, here we go. I've got the link. Control C and Control V. Boom. Here we go. There we go. So I don't know where, I can't even see it on the thread, but I've put the link there. I'll put it in the main group anyway. So yeah, you can follow me as I make shitloads of money or as I lose 50 grand. But as I said, it's all play money anyway. I've already extracted 34 grand. Yeah, so, okay, Adam, I'm not sure if you meant that, but coinmarketcap.com is also a really good site, just so you can see what all cryptos are doing. There's a sea of red at the moment, but that's normal. Again, whenever the market pulls back, it's a great buying opportunity. It really is. And by the way, it's 10:30 on a Sunday night, and there's 181 of you listening. So again, thank you so much. 172. 10 have just buggered off. So I really do appreciate that. Okay, here we go. Adnan Safdar, how do you store your crypto offline? You mean a paper wallet? Yeah, I mean a paper wallet. The course goes through all of that. I walk you step by step, and also with and the reason it's a really good video course is because on the fiddly bits, when you're setting up your paper wallets, etc., you can just pause the video whilst you do it yourself. So yeah, that's that. How do we access, again, all of the software type stuff and the registration? That's all down to Rob's team. I'm simply the crypto specialist. That's a really good point, actually. I don't like being called a crypto expert. And here's why. It's such a young market. That's one of them. It's just too young. And also, I think really, I can probably name on one hand how many genuine 100% crypto experts there are in the world. And the reason being is that you have, because there's two parts to being, a proper crypto expert, because it's like an iceberg. So the 10% of the iceberg that you can see on top is all the crypto terminology and type stuff like that, which anyone can do from 10 hours of Googling or whatnot. And then the 90% of the iceberg you can't see is basically being a competent and successful investor, which most people are not. And so really to be a really proper good crypto expert, you need someone who is all of that, which, I mean, it is me to a degree, but I really think you need to be either, like in a previous life, a data security expert, a cryptographer, or, like someone like Vitalik Buterin, or, these crypto founders who are big in cryptos and know their shit, but also they are a sophisticated investor first and foremost. So there's two real things. So again, I'm a crypto specialist. I know more about cryptos and investing than most people, and even I don't call myself an expert. So just be wary when people do. Will it be a full handhold? Gordon Bertram, yes. So you will get this. The online video course is 10 hours worth of video, and it's increasing. So literally, as we progress, the value of the course is going to increase. What I tend to do with my online video courses is that every, 6 months or so, I've just re-record the whole thing, especially in this market, because it's growing so freaking fast. And also with this video course, for the $299 or whatever the price is that Rob said, you're also getting that one-day physical event in Progressive Property with me and Rob. Rob will be popping in and out, but I can't wait to meet every single one of you. And my pledge to Rob is that I will ensure that I look after his community, because obviously I'm an outsider to you guys. Hopefully not for long, but you guys are the Progressive family. So yeah, anything I do with the outlook to create a multi-decade relationship. Okay, that's the only way you get trust in the long run. And so I always do things in terms of multi-decade relationships. So so long story short, that's that. Okay, please can we have a link to portfolio? I've just posted it, but I'm going to put it on the actual group as well after this. I don't want to accidentally click off this live thing. Okay, Manveer Singh. Again, sorry about all my pronunciations of the words. What are my views on Ripple and IOTA? Okay, they're two very different things. So Ripple, first of all, is that it's aiming to take out the SWIFT network. So what happens, the SWIFT network is basically what pretty much all Euro transactions are done on, and it's inter-bank settlements. So at the end of every day, let's say you have Barclays and HSBC, one bank is going to owe the other bank something. So at the end of the day, Barclays goes to HSBC, oi, you owe me $5 billion or whatever. And so they then do like an interaction. That's the SWIFT network in a nutshell, a very basic nutshell. So Ripple is aiming to kill SWIFT, okay? So it's a network not for the public, even though people are speculating on it. So I think it's got room to grow. I mean, it's gone from under a cent to now 25 cents. So this year, from January to summer, it went up like 20,000% or something stupid like that. But I think it's got one more move to go. It will probably go from 25 cents to where it is now to maybe $1, and then I think it will remain flat and be the most boring crypto out there. And here's the reason: if I'm a bank or a big institution, I'm going to send you, $5 billion. What I don't want to happen is, from clicking send and to the 3 or the 1 minute or however long it takes for that money, that crypto to get over to you, I don't want the price to be spiking up or spiking down, because if I click send and the money gets over to you and then the price crashes, and instead of sending 5 billion you actually receive 4 billion, we're going to have a problem. And so I think what the banks will want is like a stable crypto that doesn't do anything in price. So when they send that $5 billion, they know that you're going to receive $5 billion. So that's a basic thing on Ripple. IOTA is something different. So IOTA is there to capture the Internet of Things market. So the Internet of Things is basically smart devices. So if you're, like, an example of a smart device will be a clever fridge. So it won't be long before your fridge will have optical sensors so that every time you open the fridge and take out the milk and then pour it, it will basically see how full it is, and then it will see how empty it is. It will then also calculate your rate of consumption, blah, blah, blah. So when it gets to a certain level, it will automatically reorder the milk from Amazon or whatever, and then a drone will probably come in and deliver it within an hour. Stuff like that. So that will be a smart device, and then it will be connected to a network, so everything talks to each other. I mean, eventually we will have things like a smart toothbrush where there'll be like sensors in our toothbrush. It will then analyze our saliva. It will detect what nutrients and minerals and vitamins we're lacking. That will then be passed over to a 3D bioprinting machine in your kitchen. And by the time you get finished having a shower and cleaning your teeth, you'll go down there, you'll grab your cup of coffee that's already been made, and you'll get like a Nutri-Grain bar, which will put all the nutrients what your toothbrush said that you're lacking. So all of that needs basically a big network for Internet of Things. IOTA is going to do that, and it's been on a tear recently. Sorry. Rob, yeah, 10. Oh, it's now 10. Yeah, we're still going. I don't have a social life. I'll talk till midnight if you want. Info is amazing. Thank you, Dave. Nalia, will it have details how to create a trading account? No, this is simply a buy, hold, forget type, or the basics, how to invest or speculate safely. Later on in the new year, we'll have a crypto trading course where you can trade and go in and out, etc. And what I do, and in fact, you can see my phone. Oh dear, I have 2% battery, as you can see the red stuff. So hopefully it doesn't die before we see this. Okay, here. So this is my WhatsApp. So what I have with my existing trading community is a WhatsApp group. In fact, it's been busy this weekend. Here we go. RT Alert WhatsApp group. And what I do with my trading is that every single trade I place, bar none, I don't hide any trades, every single trade I text out to my group in real time. What really pisses me off in this industry are hindsight traders, where they show you a chart and go, oh, I would have got in here, would have got out here. It's absolute bollocks. So what I do is I either, like here we go, so 8th of December, when was that? 2 days ago, I took a screenshot saying, hey, trendy jive, buy signal, pound Aussie, blah, 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 and then everyone can follow me if they want. Or, so that's when I'm on the move and I see something like that. Or if we see something else, okay, what I also tend to do is I will also make a video of the thing. So as I'm placing the trade, I'll do a screenshot and then record everything. And so you can see the thought. So I'm not a big fan of tipping, so to speak, because you never learn anything. And as I said, my goal is to make you completely self-sufficient, and you don't need me. But what I do is, yeah, so it's a learning thing. So when I'm creating a video and going through my trades, and you can see what's going through my thought processes, etc. So it's an education tool as well. We will be doing that in the crypto trading course in the future. But for now, in this basic course, I will still give you the big heads ups, so to speak. Like, for example, I've just put $40,000 into Cardano, which is going to kill Ethereum. Literally, it's of all the cryptocurrencies or cryptos out there, it has the best technology, best management, best everything than any other crypto, bar none. It's the only crypto out there which is peer reviewed. So actual huge society communities of scientists are peer reviewing each and every process. So what happens with the normal crypto is they'll be like, okay, we need to build this part of the blockchain, get it out there, done. And that's what most cryptos are like, and some in a bedroom, by a teenager. Whereas with Cardano, what they do is go, right, we're building this bit. They'll write a whole freaking essay, like a scientific document. They'll put it out to the scientific community where it can be scrutinized by hundreds of scientists, data scientists, cryptographers, and they will pick it to bits. Charles Hoskinson, the creator of, or the founder and CEO of Cardano, he's a switched-on cookie himself. He said it took him 6 months just to get a tiny part of his baby out there, and it got ripped to shreds by the community. But when it is all approved by the scientific community, it's legit. So that's that. So Nancy Allen, what are my views on USI Tech? As I said in the webinar, run a mile, ignore all of the marketing. It's a Ponzi scheme. It really is. So here's how, I mean, all this stuff, it really frustrates me. Here's how it roughly, a scheme like this cons people, okay? So I've seen this in the the FX community like 6 years ago, before it got stamped out. So it's like, okay, you're approached by someone, probably a friend that's done, got an affiliate link of some sort, and go, hey, it's only 100 quid, join this, and you'll get 1% per day. And I think USI promotes 1% ROI per day. I mean, just do the compounding interest calculator. That's what, well over 400 odd percent compounded, or well over 400% per year, compounded. Like, it's lies. And what happens is that they'll say, hey, put 100 quid in, and you'll make 1% per day for 3 months or whatever. And so what they do is you pay the 100 quid, but they basically put a bit of it aside, and they just pay you £1 every day, as they've said. And then like 2-3 months later, they'll contact you or send you a video or an email and go, hey, every day you're getting your 1% per day. How's it going? And you're like, well, holy freaking shit, I've done nothing, and I've made 1% per day. You're like, what you've sold me actually works. That's when they convert an average, good, hard-working person into like a drone that doesn't believe anything else. And then they'll go, look, how about instead of 100 quid, how about you put 10 grand in, and 1% of 10 grand, yeah, you can quit your job in 2 minutes. And so you then put a meaningful amount of money in. And yeah, they'll probably pay 1% per day for, I don't know, a week or whatever, but getting your money out is near on impossible. They'll put so many hoops and hurdles in that you'll never get it out. Just research Bernie Madoff. He's spending his life in prison because of doing exactly the same thing. When the tap runs dry, that's when the crumble falls, but the house of cards crumble. Apple crumble, random word, I don't know. I'm hungry. I could really do the McDonald's hot apple pie. So USI Tech scam. Okay, Stuart, all the questions coming up. What's your view on Litecoin and its potential in the next 3 years? So the thing is, like, everyone's talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually one of not the slowest mover over the last year, but it's nowhere near the top in terms of percentage growth. Litecoin has like tripled the growth of Bitcoin. Litecoin is basically what Bitcoin Cash is trying to do. I mean, it's more scalable, Litecoin. Being a lower price, I guess a lot of new people would like this, would like it. It's a good one. It's basically a spin-off of blockchain, of Bitcoin. So it is good. As I said, everything we're seeing right now is, it's not going to be here 5-10 years time. In fact, on coinmarketcap.com, like, you can actually, there's like a historical price tool, and you can basically see what the prices of, the top 10 or whatever in any date you want. Look at the top 10 of cryptos 2 years ago. There's Bitcoin at the top, and then a whole bunch of coins which have now just disappeared. And in 2 years' time, the top 10 probably will disappear as well. So, yeah. Rob, are you still there, mate? Or not? No, I'm not sure if you are. Okay, Ray Bishop, do you ever use spread betting for leverage? Okay, with the currency market, I do spread bet, and you have to use leverage on the FX market because the foreign exchange levels, they barely move. They're like going from let's take euro dollar. If it goes from like 1.1 to 1.11, that's a huge move in FX terms, but really it's a tiny market. So you have to use leverage in order to profit in it. Now with cryptos, absolutely 100% do not use leverage. You'll get absolutely chewed up and spat out. There are things called stop runs. You'll get stop hunted. Not time to go into that right now, but what happens is you have these flash crashes, And if you have a stop loss, again, if you don't know what a stop loss is, don't worry. It'll be like a chocolate fire guard or like a parachute that deploys on impact. And a good example of this is on the GDAX exchange, where Ethereum went from $350, and in the space of a minute or so, it went down to 10 cents, and then it shot back up again. I mean, like, if you're trading, you would have got your whole account wiped out. And also, when you use leverage, when you're doing CFD trading, it's a double-edged sword, that leverage. Yes, your profits are maximized or amplified, but so too are your losses. And normally the downside edge is a lot sharper. And also with CFDs, you can lose more money than you had in your account. No shit. I've got a friend who turned his £20,000 trading account, ran it up to 2 million, and then ended up 40 grand in debt. Idiot. I've told him that to his face, by the way. I was like, dude, you're 2 million quid up. You would have at least taken £1 million off the table and then played with, no. Because he was like, oh no, at this rate, I'm going to be 20 million up. I'm like, no, you're not, mate. So, right. Oh, I've just pressed something here. Sorry, it's ironic. I live in a 7-figure house and the heating has never worked. It's nuts. Hence I'm in this bloody big fat jumper. Right. Stuart Wilmot, any advice on avoiding all the transaction costs when purchasing coins? To be honest, I really wouldn't bother. Yeah, you can save a few pounds here and there by going around the houses, just like you can with. I'm having to sit on my hands, keep my hands up. But yeah, just like you can save costs on credit cards and petrol bills by cutting out vouchers in a newspaper. Like, yeah, I just wouldn't bother. The profit when investing is when you invest, not when you sell, if that makes sense. And so just by getting in the market now, like you're already well ahead of the curve. So Jill has asked, Jill Davis, what exchanges? There are loads. There are literally loads. There are 2 types of crypto exchange. You have a crypto exchange which accepts fiat currencies, and then you have most of them, most current exchanges where they don't accept fiat currencies. So what happens is basically there's only a few which accept fiat currencies, i.e. your pounds or euros, etc. The 3 main ones are Coinbase, Kraken, and Bitstamp. Again, no matter how great they may look or are backed by, that all your deposit insured or whatever, they're not. Like, we had $60 million worth of Bitcoin being hacked the other day in a nice hash hacking. Like, nothing is secure in this, nothing. So yeah, sorry, going back to the exchange questions, I have a tendency to veer off target tangent. You know what I mean? It's late, by the way. I've had a really long day. And we had our work party last night, so I got to bed at 4. So Coinbase, Kraken, Bitstamp are the ones where you can put your fiat currencies and buy Bitcoin. But then with those exchanges, you can't buy many cryptos. They have a very small sort of basket of cryptos you can buy. So what you then do is you ping your Bitcoin over to another crypto exchange, something like Bittrex or Poloniex or Cryptopia. There's Binance. There are loads. Likey, I can go on. And then you buy all your other altcoins. Altcoins is another word for alternative coins. So Alex Jones, I use spread betting for tax advantages and not for leverage. Yeah, again, spread betting. The UK is the only country in the world which has tax-free trading, i.e. via the form of spread betting. So, but at the moment, you can't really spread bet cryptos. I know there's one out there, but it didn't pass my sort of criteria. Okay, here we go. Ranjit Sira, again, sorry about my pronunciation. Do you think governments will regulate it to death? They will try, but at the end of the day, in order to properly regulate it, they've got to all coordinate. So if anything, if they really want to kill it, like the G20 will have to get together and then, kill it. Because let's say like one country tries to ban it, well, there's all the other countries there. So this is why I think Bitcoin will remain a foreign currency to everyone. To public individuals, private individuals, to public companies, to countries. So that's that. Blimey. Okay. Rob, you there, mate? Okay, no, he's not. Anyway, thing is, we're now 59 minutes into this live chat or live thing. I really could go on. I just don't know how long you want me to go on. There are I'll just keep going for a while. Simon McCabe, Simon, you using technical analysis for entry and exit points? Yes and no. Mainly fundamental analysis when I'm going into a coin, because technically, there's so much influence and manipulation going on in this market. It's ridiculous. So, and also there have been so many times where, say, Bitcoin has completely defied technical analysis, and I'm a technical trend trader. So yeah, I may time it, like for example that so for the smaller movements, I'll use technical analysis to time entries, but not overall. You need to use fundamental analysis. Hi, Steve or Stay, Caffrey, Stu. Hi, Simon. I noticed you had Funcoin earlier. Do you think the gambling world will buy into it? It may not. I mean, this is like everyone's rushing to the table to try and get some market share. Whether they last or not, who knows? But as I said, one of the things is become your own tracker fund, and literally buy everything, literally that way. And some will fall, some won't. So yeah, hell, like I've got loads of coins I bought, and I didn't have a clue what they were. Like hemp coin, I didn't have a clue what it was, but it was in the top 200 of market cap, so I bought it, and it's now 1,200% up. And that, so some will come, some will go. So what? It's like in anything. So Richard Weiss. Oh, thank you again for your kind comments. So Sean Robson, so looking at your public account, you're not in Bitcoin. Correct. Not in Bitcoin, not in Ethereum. Lots of many reasons for that. One reason, again, this is a whole other topic. I can talk for a long time why I'm not in Bitcoin, but one reason is that all of the growth, if you're in this to really make profits, it's not in Bitcoin at all. It's in the altcoins. It's in the other cryptos. Everyone is hearing about Bitcoin because it's gone from $700 a year ago to now $15,000, and it sounds amazing. But in percentage growths, it's average. It's mediocre in the whole crypto world. Like the potential growth for the other ones is nuts. Like Ethereum right now is $450. And it doesn't even have it doesn't have a finite amount of ether. Literally, at the moment, it's got an infinite supply of ether. Okay, so technically, the Ethereum network can just carry on creating more ether. Anyway, and it's gone from $8 like earlier this year to $450. Now, Cardano is better than Ethereum in every single way. Yes, it's got a high amount of coins. I think off the top of my head, it's got 46 billion coins. Cardano tokens, or it's called ADA, which is a lot. It is a lot. However, when Cardano starts taking the ICO market away from Ethereum, it's going to at least hit 10. Well, no, I can't say it's going to. No one knows the future, as I said. But I personally believe that there is an extremely low risk, high probability outcome that Cardano is going to go up. And right now, Cardano is 10 cents? It's freaking ridiculous. Where is it? Cardano, it's 10.9 cents. And so for me, I believe it has to. If I'm correct in my analysis, it has to go up. And if Ethereum, which is inferior in most ways, if Ethereum goes from where it was to $450, I think Cardano can go to at least $10. And so that's why I put I put $40,000 into it, and that will turn into forever money. I mean, also, So again, Divergent. Okay. Yeah, is it, Alex, good enough. Great webinar, thank you. I just want to buy a few £100. Would you recommend Coinbase and instead of a yeah? So this is a really good question. Oh, by the way, there's two things there. Then set up a vault on the website. No. Always extract your cryptos away from the exchange. If an exchange goes, hey, we're an exchange and we now have a secure storage, don't do it. If the government start to hack or try to ban cryptos, etc., where do you think the first place they're going to go? Yeah, the exchanges and everyone that does secured, remote outsourced storage. You're going to lose it. But yeah, going back to your kind comments, you want to put a few £100 in. This is a really good point. Whether you put, in fact, again, my personal opinion. By the way, I'll always tell you when it's my opinion and not like my opinion I'm portraying as facts. No matter who you are, what you do, where you're from, what your history is, or what even your beliefs are right now, you need to get into cryptos. Okay, you need some exposure. I've got loads of financial mates in the city of London. Lots of I call them my banker wanker mates. They call me they call me other things. Anyway, it's a love-hate relationship. A lot of them are not touching cryptos at all. I'm like, dude, you guys earn well. And I've said to one of my mates, he's on probably about $250 take home a year, $250,000, pounds a year. And I was like, mate, you've done incredibly well for yourself. You're, in the top 0.1% of the nation. Just put $1,000 into cryptos, dude. Seriously, his risk capital or whatever, he could easily put 20 grand in and it not dent him a bit, and he refuses to. And I think he's a fool for doing so. And I don't mind saying that because I tell that to his face all the time. We always send each other crypto memes and stuff. In fact, whenever it goes down, like today, he always goes, "Ha, told you." I used to be like that. But the thing is, even if you put £50 in, you've got some exposure, you've got some skin in the game, and it's going to be a binary outcome. As I said, it's going to be in 2, 3, 5 years' time, you're going to come back and go, I'm 50% down. Or you go, holy freaking shitballs, I'm my £1,000 is now £100,000 or £1 million or 7 figures. And that's personally what I'm in for. First of all, I've got no risk in the game now because I've taken out, if you look at my portfolio, I've realized $34K, $1,000 roughly. And so my total holdings are only $47,000, or at the moment, the market's pulled back a bit. But I fully believe that $50,000 is going to be worth 7 figures at some point. And personally, on a personal level, I'm actually shit scared as well, because at the moment that's nothing. But let's say Cardano does its thing or whatever, and things go, and that portfolio turns into 7 or 8 figures. I've got the biggest target on my back, especially now I'm sort of going out there in public. So I have to really keep ahead of the curve when it comes to data security. And as I learn more, and I've got some really cool data security friends who are really giving me the lowdown, I'm going to share the best practices with all of you. That's something that really does scare me, because I've already been hacked. So here is, I don't know if Rob's going to kill me for sharing this with you guys. I've got a really embarrassing story, actually. And one story is basically the reason I got hacked is because I don't know, 6 months ago, I had an old computer, and I was using my crypto trading, crypto stuff, on the same computer that I have viewed porn on. So here's number one top tip, which isn't on the online course. Don't use the computer which you have viewed porn on for your cryptos, because you'll have all sorts of phishing bugs on there and whatnot, which will just take screenshots of your computer, then secretly email them to the hacker or whatnot. I've got a few smiley faces here. So keep your porn separate. Not that I watch porn a lot. Oh dear. Rob's gonna kill me. Okay, let's move on. So there's lots of smiley faces, yeah. Right. Okay. I think, yeah, this is getting out of hand now. It's well after, like, you guys were here at 8. It's now at 11. We've been here for 3 hours. I'm gonna go to bed. I actually told my wife I'd see her at 10. So yeah, we're watching Netflix. I mean, I don't watch TV, but we're watching this Netflix thing called Dynasty or Dynasty. It's really cool. And I said I'd watch it with her at 10. So yeah. Anyway, I've had a blast, guys. I'm going to see you a lot more. Thank you so much for your time. Like, the fact we've still got 188 people here at 11 o'clock on a Sunday night, I like that. That means the world to me. It really does. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of me on the course. I'm going to be doing this all of the time. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. And this is me signing off, guys. And I'll see you on the videos. Toodles. Have a good night.